Morning, how you doing? It's a chilly morning out here. I'm just by the soccer field actually. I've got some flurries coming down and I just got back from Barbados. I've got a little bit of a chest cold, but it's not going to stop me from delivering some goodness for you today. So today, even though I'm helping you obviously in this channel and through my work, helping you get the body you want and the energy you deserve, I also like to talk a lot about the inner game. Right? Because if we don't have the right roots, we're not going to bear the right fruits. And you can see Layla running in the background. Anyways, so today I want to talk about how to deal and overcome with negative emotions, whether it be anger or sadness, and why those come about in the first place. Well, here's the reality. If you feel angry or unhappy, the reality is that two of your most important values are not being met. So let me tell you what that means. If you've ever listened to anything that Tony Robbins talks about, which I highly recommend you do because he's amazing, you'll know that there are 6 basic human needs: certainty, uncertainty, love and connection, growth, contribution. So depends on, and there's a couple others, but within that realm, if you have a certain number of values that are not being met, for instance, for me, 2 of my biggest values are freedom and contribution. And sometimes they conflict with family, because family is right up there for me as well. So I've noticed in the past, for instance, when we had our 2 youngest boys, Oscar and Luca, when they were very young, and I was working at home, and it was just really, just a really stressful, uneasy time for me, because I realized that I didn't have the freedom to make the contributions I wanted to make in terms of through my business and obviously helping you guys. And so I would go through periods of time where I wasn't as happy as I wanted to be. And when I learned about this, it made complete sense, right? Everything is a choice, right? So we have the choice to be happy or not. But understanding why we feel certain ways is very powerful. So when I understood that freedom and contribution are really important to me, it's all about setting up scenarios for yourself that are going to help you experience those on a more regular basis. Now, that's not to say that I don't value my family, because for me, they're number one, for sure. But it's also giving yourself permission and time to experience those other values on a regular basis. So I've always talked about this with my family, as well as perhaps in some of these videos, where if you're on an airplane, for instance, they always tell you to put your gas mask on or your oxygen mask on before anybody else's if the plane were to go down. The same thing happens in life. You have to take care of yourself. You are number one. So if you have a family, right, if you've got people to look after, you still have to make time for yourself, especially if some of your values include freedom and contribution, because in a lot of cases, they are going to conflict with your responsibilities at home. So that's a very specific scenario.